these English voice actors just destroyed their careers. So, Chad, we recently talked about, and I'm sorry, YouTube, that I didn't upload that video. I just haven't gotten around to it. I don't know if I'm going to upload it. It's like outdated now, so I'm probably not. But to sum it up, the voice actors were on a strike, to which I thought it would be a good idea to strike because voice actors are underpaid. But what they were actually trying to do, because they're all unionized, is to knock everyone who isn't in the union out of the market. Because the contracts for the firms would be that they're only allowed to hire people within that union. That's a quite a small summary on it. Hirohei will probably explain it better than me, but yeah, let's get into it.
I hope you guys are having a great week, and thank you for tuning in. So a few weeks ago, you may have seen a video I made talking about English voice actors, specifically
That's the one I was referencing.
SAG-AFTRA union members, and how we can see across the internet that public perception has been shifting against those union voice actors more and more. Many people criticizing the actions of SAG-AFTRA and their members. Interestingly enough, I actually had two different union voice actors come to the comment section of that video angry with the video.
What?
But to one VA's credit, she actually deleted her comment after only a few hours of posting it.
Wow! Wow! Either way, I wanna go into this real quick because unions for America and unions for Europe are vastly different. Unions in Europe do work, while unions usually in America are not working. They're pretty shitty, in fact. There is a vast difference in it, so if... Oh, thanks, Sherlock. So if you're European like me, I was going into this originally with the idea that this is a good thing. But after I've gotten informed about it, yeah, it's not. European unions, especially Swedish work union, is incredibly powerful. Mine is useless, man. I know they do seem to be working in Germany. I know that much.
Interestingly enough, I actually had two different union voice actors come to the comment section of that video angry with the video. But to one VA's credit, she actually deleted her comment after only a few hours of posting it. Probably realized it was a bad move to make that comment, that the stuff she was trying to say about my video was incorrect, and that she was really only making the union VAs look worse. And so I won't be naming that voice actress, but there is another voice actress, the second one who came to my comment section, and her comment is still there. Let's take a look at this. Allegedly from this English voice actress, Cher Kirby, says, "This video is full of misinformation. If you're not a member of SAG-AFTRA, maybe don't make videos like this. Thanks."
What? Why? Why not? If you're impacting, or like rather your union is impacting the entire, what's the word? I forgot. The entire industry. Why are only you allowed to talk about it?
They got a response from only 17 hours ago, actually, that reads, "So you're not allowed to talk about an issue if you're not a member of the protection racket being called out? That's not how it works." Now, interestingly enough, there's a post on the Genshin Impact subreddit from only 7 hours ago calling out the recent actions of Cher Kirby. We're not going to read that just yet, though, because I'd like to give you all the context, because this whole situation involves many more people than just Cher Kirby.
Oh god, I know the past days there is a voice actor. There's been a voice actor, I don't know for which game. It is one of the gacha games that has been calling out, I guess, Hoyoverse in that case, because they changed the voice actor to someone or something, but calling out as in they were shit-talking them. They were shit-talking them for no reason whatsoever. And now people have called that person out, like the original call-out poster. They were being an ass. They were being a complete ass. I'm pretty sure Hirohei is gonna mention this, though.
So many people on the internet right now are calling out union voice actors overall, including SAG-AFTRA itself. So I'll give you the context about what started all that over the last 24 hours or so. And it all begins here on March 26th. This post with now 2.9 million plus views over on Twitter from voice actor Jacob Takanashi makes this announcement about how he's joining Genshin Impact as a new voice actor.
Okay, here it is.
Role announcement. "I'm honored to join the English cast of Genshin Impact as the voice of Kinnick. Taking up the mantle of Malipo is a privilege, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to carry the flame from the previous flame bearer, John, who did an incredible job. Those are big shoes to fill, and I promise to give it my all, out of respect for him, for Hoyoverse, and for you, the fans. Thank you to Diana for their amazing direction and for helping me navigate the intricacies of this incredible game, and to Side Tokyo and Hoyoverse for the honor of bringing Kinnick to life. I'm deeply grateful for the privilege of entertaining you all."
Okay, so that message, the way this guy wrote it is super respectful. Like, I can just see this as a positive message.
However, in the
itself.
responses, we can see a number of voice actors getting very upset at Jacob Takanashi. Comments from Western voice actors, such as Kaylee Mills, saying, "This is actually kinda diabolical. If you need the money, at least take the role uncredited. This just comes off as an easy grab for clout. It's not a good look."
Why would you take any role ever as uncredited? What the hell?
Valerie
Rodriguez,
Rodriguez leaving a number of thumbs down. Stephanie She saying, "There are many reasons why roles get recast. I personally draw the line when the original actor is holding out because they are fighting for better work conditions. I've refused many auditions to take over roles from my peers because I'd never do that to another fellow actor."
I'm sorry, but it's a dog-eat-dog world. It's a dog-eat-dog world. So, sorry, but not taking a role will not bring in any money. The dog-eat-dog world. Yeah, I know that scene.
And Karina Botker saying, "This wasn't a passing of the torch." Karina being the English voice of Paimon in Genshin Impact, and someone that will be coming back to later in this.
Yeah. This I just remember that this person started trying to push her headcanon of Paimon. Like, with the most ridiculous shit.
Video, as Karina also made other statements relating to the situation that many people in the Genshin fandom are pointing out and exposing for immense hypocrisy. But yeah, these sort of comments from voice actors upset with Jacob go on and on. For example, here's another one. Ruben Lack saying, "Dude, really classless move considering an actor was fighting for AI protections on this job.
You can see that they are not fully informed about the entire thing. Because I thought that would be the same, that it was just against AI protection, which on paper seems fine, right? It seems like a good cause. I would agree. But then there's actually so much nuance to it, and so much hidden shit that they obviously don't publicly advocate for. Like, for example, Hoyoverse only being able to hire people from their union, which is absolutely ridiculous.
Appreciate folks want the paycheck, but they should know crossing a picket line is an immediate and permanent black mark." Another voice actor, Louis Bermudez, saying, "My hope is you were misled and weren't fully aware that John was withholding his work to fight for a better future for actors everywhere. If that's the case, you have the opportunity to do the funniest thing right now, but if not, and you continue in this role, yikes, man." It's also not just English VAs leaving negative comments to Jacob, but also various union supporters in general. For example, this response to Jacob's statement reading, "Let's call it what it is. You're an effing scab." However, there's also a lot of comments defending Jacob. For example, the comment there in the center reading, "Y'all harassing him should realize that he's working from Japan. The strike is only happening in America. He's not."
The guy isn't even in America. That's so funny. That is so funny. He doesn't even have anything to do with it. He's got nothing to do with the freaking thing. And yeah, that is a good point you're making, Saucy Senpai. Like, why are they not getting mad at the company? Right? Because, I don't know. They're dumbasses. The dumbasses. Like, I can't tell you. It's ridiculous. It's like you're either with them or against them kind of thing, right? It's like that pack mentality.
Under the strike in any shape or form just because he does VA work in English. And other comments like, "Why pile on the guy? He's a VA based in Japan. They have different labor laws in there. And congrats on your new role. Warning you now that fandoms can be toxic, and apparently other VAs too. Don't give in." While I do think any Genshin fan would admit that the Genshin fandom can be toxic, it's really interesting because in this particular situation, it seems like the Genshin fandom at large is actually defending Jacob. And we'll get to that when we hop over to the Genshin subreddit in a moment.
That's good. That is good that they're defending him. I find it ridiculous how freaking important the English voice actors, mainly, like a lot of those union-based voice actors, how important they think they are. Like, and how they think that they can change literally the canon of a character You did not write the character. You are voicing a character. You are not the character. Like, Jesus, man.
First, we'll get some more additional context. That takes us over to John Patnoid. Hopefully I said that right. This is the voice actor who got replaced by Jacob. John says, "Hey everyone. If you've been playing the latest 5.5 update in Genshin Impact and you're hearing Kinnick speak for the first time in 6 months, it's not my voice. I've been recast. I've been withholding voiceover services during the SAG-AFTRA interactive strike because Hoyo/Cognosphere would not offer AI protections in the form of a SAG interim agreement." Now let's pause there real quick.
Yeah, but that's not the only thing they weren't agreeing to. Aren't you like leaving out a tiny thing there?
Because this is something a lot of people are taking issue with, specifically how it comes off like these union voice actors and executives are conveniently leaving things out and really only telling the public certain bits of information and simultaneously trying to have all the public support them as if they're entitled to the public supporting their cause no matter what, especially with how these negotiations may negatively impact non-union voice actors. And all this has been costing the union voice actors support. A lot of people are no longer willing to support the union VAs. And as has been a recurring theme throughout this video so far, that's something else we'll also be getting into more details about in a moment once we get through the rest of this context. So back to the statement. John says, "They'd kept my character's dialogue silent for months, all the while I had to make the difficult decision to continue not going in until an interim agreement was signed, and this ultimately was why I was recast. Now obviously a recast is not what I wanted. I'd hope that any progress behind the scenes would be made."
The guy really thought he wasn't replaceable. And you know what's really funny about this? Well, they are putting out, like, the irony on this entire thing, right? Is like they are pretending they're only fighting to not get replaced by AI, right? And the funny thing is, he got replaced by a human. So what are they so afraid of? Because if Hoyoverse was going to use AI shit, they would have already done it. But no, they actually cast another human in this guy's place. I think that's the fattest FU to that guy. Which honestly feels pretty good.
And I could come back safely, or that if recast auditions went out, my colleagues wouldn't read for them. Unfortunately, I was wrong. I absolutely adored playing Kinnick. Genshin was my comfort game during the early parts of the pandemic, and it was a dream of mine to book a playable character. At the time, I didn't have an agent, didn't live in LA, or had any connections that would get me close. But 4 years later, I did it, and the messages I've received from you all, saying how much my performance as Kinnick meant to you, made my heart swell. I would and can return if Hoyo invites me back and signs an interim. I stand by my choices regardless of the outcome. Also, the strike is still ongoing. Please don't believe disinformation on the internet.
What disinformation is there on the internet? Like, what disinformation is there? Is he portraying what other people saying is lie? Maybe he doesn't actually know what he's fighting for? I wouldn't be surprised if half of the voice actors or more didn't even know that that's what they're fighting for. I would not be surprised that they wouldn't even know the entirety of the cause they are supporting.
My best wishes to the cast and the production team. Thank you for everything, JP. Alright, with all that context, that takes us over to the Genshin Impact subreddit as previously mentioned. In this post reading, Kaching's VA, Kaching being a character from Genshin, used their...
Some people were saying the strike was over because they weren't aware that only English VAs were striking. Alright.
...their character to attack Kinnick's new VA. Are we just going to accept this nonsense? Kinnick's new VA, Jacob Takanashi, is currently being bullied by some VAs, including those who voiced Genshin characters like Paimon's VA, Karina, and Kaching's VA, Kaylee Mills. In Jacob's announcement post, Kaylee Mills attacked Jacob for accepting the job. When someone disagreed with her, she said, "I guarantee you Kaching would be doing the work to educate people and do what's best for the people." What do you think about this? I feel bad for Kinnick's new VA. He's just doing his job. He's...
Like, bro, those voice actors are LARPing. They are LARPing as their characters. Which, you're not supposed to do that. You're just the voice.
Not a US VA. Here's his post. As of recording, that post over on Reddit collecting over 4,200 upvotes and over 1,800 comments. The top comment on that post saying, "Wish she talked this much when people called her out for supporting Mosey's old VA, who is a sexual abuser." She supported him? She supported him in 2020 when he posted his statement, then congratulated him when his role was announced. She doubled down here. Apparently, another one of his supporters, Sam's VA from HSR, Honkai Star Rail, is also one of the current VAs targeting Jacob right now. Funny how that's a correlation they both have.
Yikes.
It's seriously starting to look like a clique, or some sort of Nepo circle to be honest.
Yeah, agreed.
That's a very reasonable assessment, and something
yeah.
a lot of anime and gaming fans came to realize, especially around 2019, as the whole situation with Vic and Funimation et al. Put a giant spotlight on the corrupt and cliquey part of the industry. Another set of top comments reading, "Man, what the frick is going on with English VAs?" Same as always. Not even Zenless Zone Zero and Honkai Star Rail VAs were very supportive of the new VAs that replaced former ones, who also were fired from the strike. Genshin VAs are incredibly petty and acting like a clique now, not a professional look.
And you know what's funny? Half of their voice acting is fucking gobble anyway. Like, half of them aren't even good at voice acting. I say just keep the English voices in. Just keep, keep the original Japanese voices in. And just subtitle everything else. Like, some of these people don't deserve those roles.
I learned my lesson after the Bayonetta fiasco. They're all a bunch of drama queens. What do you mean? Bayonetta's original VA lied about the studio trying to screw her pay for the third game and asked fans to boycott it.
Oh my god, I remember this!
Until they being the studio, showed receipts and proved she was making it up.
Bro.
That situation was crazy. She literally tried to get the internet to be her personal army, and then it came out that she was basically lying to people according to my recollection.
My
and was completely in the wrong.
God.
That takes us to a number of top comments, specifically calling out Paimon's voice actor as well, for hypocrisy, and as further evidence for how cliquey the English voice actors are, how they'll choose some people to go after, but give others a pass. For example, this comment reading, "Paimon's VA is pissing me off the most. Technically I'm scabbing, but it's okay because I'm autistic and have to pay my bills." Like what? You don't know what the frick is going on in anybody's life but your own. He could be disabled, he being Jacob Takanashi. His mom could have cancer. He could be trying to feed his dang kids, or heaven forbid, he could have nothing going on and just wants a paycheck.
Legit! Legit! You are a voice actor. You are doing a job. That job is to provide your money. The money you use to buy food to surprisingly eat so you surprisingly can stay alive. Funny how that works. Funny.
And you know what? That's his business and no one else's. Let the man be proud to be a part of such a big, successful project and stop being such a hypocrite. A different top post on our Genshin Impact saying, "Paimon, Kaching, and Cabaret's VAs responding to Jacob Takanashi, Kinnick's new VA. I kind of feel bad for Kinnick's new VA." And showing a number of tweets from the aforementioned voice actors saying negative things about Jacob Takanashi. Many of those we already went over earlier in the video, so let's skip to the comments.
Oh
This
my
one
God.
saying, "Oh wow,
He didn't read that. Like, look at this. There's a huge difference when you take the role of an actor who's striking for AI protections. You're no castmate of mine. Okay, bye then. Okay, bye. Who are you? Why should I care about you? Why should I care about you, man? And you know, it doesn't even matter if she considers him a castmate or not. Right? Because English VAs all record all their voices on their own in their own booths. It is super rare for voice actors, especially in games and anime and stuff, to be working together at the same time, to be recording voices at the same time together in one booth. They're usually all just doing their voices all on their own. So it doesn't matter if you're castmate or not. Like, who are you? There is no team. Again, it's a dog-eat-dog world. Everyone for themselves.
Takanashi." Many of those we already went over earlier in the video, so let's skip to the comments. This one saying, "Oh wow, even Hoothouse VA is going after the new guy." And showing this screenshot, we haven't seen this one yet. This VA Brianna responding to John, the prior VA for Kinnick's statement, which we read earlier, saying, "Thank you for standing strong and holding the line with us. You're a real one." Clears throat. Some of us, SMFH. But if we take a look at the comments in response to her, they're pretty much all against her. For example, going through this just from the top, "At this point, companies should just give up on English voice actors whatsoever. It worked for Snowbreak, it can work for all of them." And
That's what I'm thinking. Just like, don't have English voices. And I know there's a whole lot of people that prefer to just like turn their brain off and just listen to the English and not having to read. I do get that. But at the cost of those people being bitchy, I think you can read a little bit.
And side note, if you're not familiar with the snowbreak thing, I did go over that briefly at the end of the video I mentioned at the start of this one regarding my last coverage of this English VA stuff. So
yeah, English voice actors are overpriced anyway. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I thought they were underpaid. I really do not know.
So consider checking that out for more info on that. Other comments like, y'all are pieces of garbage, man. Gotta love the hypocrisy and self-righteousness. Honestly, seeing some of the other VAs attack someone for taking a job, I hope you all get recast. Yeah, there's just dozens and dozens of comments roasting this VA, but I don't want to get too sidetracked from the Paimon stuff because there's actually still a lot more to go over regarding that part of the whole thing. For example,
that's a really good point, Arigaku. Them being on strike over AI voices is just going to expedite the creation of AI voices. You are actually so right.
Back over on Reddit, this comment with over 1,800 upvotes saying, how nice of Karina, Paimon's VA, to support VAs not getting paid while cashing a check every patch. Also, while having the most lines means most likely getting paid the most. Like, aren't they the #1 person with the most influence and pull if they striked? Stroked? Struck. There are many other top comments over on Reddit calling out Karina, but let's hop back over.
So, like, Karina? That's Paimon's voice actor, right? Like, if I'm... Where did he show it? Damn it. Yeah, okay. So, she is like, you know, castmate of mine, you took away the voice of someone who is, like, fighting for this thing, but they are still, like, she's still doing it. She's still checking in the money. She's still doing the voices. She's still working for it, but she's calling someone else out. Am I getting that correct? And she's not part of the union. Are you for real? She's not part of the union! Oh! Oh my god! Oh my god.
Over to Twitter, because there are various comments on Twitter calling Karina out directly, to which Karina even responded. In this exchange, we can see where Karina had said to Jacob Takanashi, this wasn't a passing of the torch. And this user Luminescence saying, and you working on it is still good for the strike? Like, make it make sense. Karina then responded with this set of tweets saying,
don't worry, they blame everything on the autism. As I said last, in the last video we just reacted to, or the one before that, I don't remember. Earlier today, as I said earlier today, I cannot stand people who use their mental disabilities, mental health issues, mental illnesses, whatever, all of that thing in that category as an excuse.
no, you're right. I am technically scabbing. I originally have this role, and technically I can still work this role. I am a disabled person.
No, there
and
it
this is
is.
the job that puts food on my table.
What about the other person? How do you know they are not... How do you... Fire her! Or them, I don't know. Fire Karina! This is ridiculous!
As I actually record this role year-round. But I didn't take this role from another person who was striking. I had this role, and I am stuck in it because I have no other way to pay my medical bills. But yes, technically, I am a scab. And you're right, I don't deserve any praise right now. I don't deserve any of it. I deserve to be told off just like this actor. So please do. No one should look up to me. I'm trapped and a coward because I continue
Manipulative victim card playing, man.
this job because if not, I end up homeless.
I don't know, man. I don't know this person's pronouns. I am never maliciously misgendering anyone. I just don't care enough to find out their pronouns for one video.
I don't say that because I deserve sympathy. I don't. The ones sticking to the picket line deserve all the praise, not me. I love voicing Paimon. Love it. I've been through so much that you guys will never truly understand.
Yeah. You love voicing Paimon so much that you made up your own headcanons and tried to push that as the real thing. Like, her pronouns are re/cast. Oh my god, man. Oh my What?
But I also know what I am, and I should not be given any applause for this. If I could feasibly stick the line with my fellow actors, I would. This job actually barely keeps me alive. But that
What's the
doesn't mean that...
headcanon? I don't quite remember. I don't 100% remember what the headcanon was. I just remember that it was a really stupid headcanon. Like, in my mind, I want to say that they said... Ugh, God damn it, Genshin players are gonna know this better than me. That Paimon is actually non-binary. That's the one, thank you. Thank you.
It makes it different. It is not a good thing to my fellow actor that I continue to work on this game. I have struggled with that since the strike started, so call me out for this. Please, I deserve it. If it means we get closer to making things better, then so be it. The top response to KoAlan saying, so what? Many disabled people work remotely in other professions. Voice acting is not your only option if it puts you in such an unethical position. But you have to seek attention on twitter.com like a 16-year-old and present yourself like a saint in the whole community. KoAlan responding, saying, I definitely don't present myself as a saint, but you don't know my disability and what I am able to do.
God. Remember when the times when they was used exactly when you didn't know whether the person is a he or she? Yes, but I'm also not English first. English is my second language, so I never grew up doing that ever. In Germany, we always gave a she or he to things, so that's just how I grew up and how it's stuck in my brain. Okay, so I don't try if you were trying to do a gotcha, we're just like making a remark, but yeah.
Same way you don't know any other VA situations either. Imagine someone shamed you for just trying to make ends meet, which at this point may as well be warranted. There's also a difference between taking a role quietly and bragging about getting it when the other VA was recast for striking. He wasn't even aware of the situation. He lives in Japan. Y'all are so out of touch. So let me know what you think about the KoAlan stuff. Do you think KoAlan's response was good, that the points are fair? Or do you think it's an example of hypocrisy from these voice actors? Or perhaps something else? Moving on to the next VA, that takes us back to Share Kirby in this post that says, Share Kirby, Candace VA, opinion on Hoyo and Genshin's fanbase. This once again being the VA who allegedly left a comment on my video, where Share Kirby is apparently over on Blue Sky saying, in response to Jacob Takanashi's announcement post, this gotta be the most classless thing I've seen with everything going on.
Oh my god, bro. So many people dogs piled on this Jacob guy. And for what? And for what?
Have fun with Genshin. You'll never work on anything else, LMFAO. It's also interesting how they're recording in Japan for English dub now. Wow, cool. Go to bed and recast me too while you're at.
Okay. Dude, then, Lamau. Like, why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they? If the person is qualified, why wouldn't they, you know?
At it. Screw Hoyo. Disrespect.
I don't know what a bet means.
Respectfully. Because let's be frank, who's gonna beat me over a video game that underpays its performers and is actively farming their voices so that they don't have to hire real people? I do hope it was worth it. Truly, I do. You'll never catch me singing that company or any company that operates that way to a simple request of protecting the talents they hired. Singing praises for, sorry, not sorry, I rage quit. One more thing. I have never dealt with a fan base as callous and as annoying as the Genshin fan base.
Yeah, sure. No, I can get behind that, sure. Why would they record in Japan or China? The person lives in Japan, that's why. They cast a Japanese person.
Who would go so far as to berate the voice actors, who only want better protections and rates for being rightfully upset that someone publicly scabbed. Just insanity. The only other one I've dealt with like this is the Murder Drones fanbase, and only one of those doxed me. I'm not in the business of arguing and fighting with children. I'm gonna delete some of that thread later, because this is a semi-professional page.
Sure, buddy. Sure. Sure.
But TLDR, don't talk to me about Genshin Impact ever again. KK. Top comments to that post reading, the United States isn't the only place where English is spoken well. Also, there are US citizens across the world right now working remotely. I'm confused too, since when English becoming exclusive to US and US only?
Legit, like, I'm living in Germany and I'm speaking English mainly, like, bro. Eid Mubarak to all my Muslim brothers, oh, is it Eid today? Well, Eid Mubarak in that case.
Apparently, Hoyo's characters are theirs and only theirs to voice. They just forgot to notify Hoyo about that. Another top comment in that exchange saying, Well, that's one of the most unprofessional resignations I've ever seen. If I was a voice caster for any other field of work, I'd probs not hire her based on this alone. It's so unprofessional and going into unhinged territory. Honestly, I won't be surprised if Hoyo is now gathering all this to bring all of them to the negotiating table and have a word with what they just said regarding Jacob. Those may be personal accounts, but I imagine Hoyo doesn't want a bunch of VAs going around starting a civil war with other.
Yep. I would be hoping for Hoyo to be taken that into account, because that is mildly said unprofessional. It is a mildly said unprofessional. English US exclusive. Yeah, I don't know, man.
VAs, and make it look like Hoyo's VAs are some cult. There's a pretty well understood line where your personal account ends, and it's right around where you start bad-mouthing the company that pays your salary, lol. It's one thing if these VAs were trashing on each other, purely on principle, but they're literally name-dropping the game and the company, and that's a huge no-no in any job. It reflects poorly on the company. Hope she's prepared to explain these tweets to her future employers. This is just hot air.
But I'm just advocating for the poor VAs and the union that just don't want to replace by AI. But I'm fighting for the good cause. But me harassing them was fully justified. So dumb. So dumb.
There's no way they actually put their money where their mouth is and resign. Doesn't matter, because that statement is basically all Hoyo needs to get her to never voice for them ever again. Whether she wants to backtrack or not, this can be considered a surefire resignation in Hoyo point of view, due to the atrocious mannerisms and statements made by her. Yep, she basically burned every single bridge of possibility that she'll ever get casted in a Hoyoverse game ever again. And I'm sure there'll be some game companies that see this as well, and would prefer not to take in a VA this volatile in their games. What a way to sabotage your VA career. Essentially, the entire post is criticizing her. Let me know what you think about that part of the situation. And finally, we'll take a look at some public reception for the SAG-AFTRA agreement overall. On a post about the agreement terms, we see top comments like this. Bruh, so if Hoyo is forced to sign, all non-union VAs are effectively forced to join the union in a month or else. Which would limit them to only American VAs, giving the union a monopoly over the English voice acting in all the affected projects.
That is the issue.
I know it's Reddit, but countries other than America exist. Not necessarily only American VAs, but SAG actors, the majority of which are American.
Yes. It wouldn't only be American voice actors, it would be SAG actors.
It's semantic, but non-Americans can join SAG if they work in the US. Many VAs don't want to join a mafia organization. The mafia is asking for membership protection fees plus continuous fees. It sucks every money from VA. Meanwhile, all the union VAs are crying about being misinfo when someone points this out. They're doing the "it's us or them," and they pick themselves. They're more than willing to screw over non-union VAs, because why do they get to make money while I'm jobless? Even though studios like Studio Cadence, ZZZ, have non-AI clause and supports negotiations about AI with SAG, yet these VAs kept pushing AI as an issue to sign the agreement. Bold to assume that the kind of people who go online and harass a colleague are actually smart people. I bet that 80% didn't even read or grasp what they are striking for.
That's what I mean. That's what I freaking mean. That most of them probably don't even know what they are actually, advocating for. And then they cry out misinformation when it's being pointed out. It's dumb people not admitting that they are dumb. They'd rather die on the hill than admit that they are wrong.
But just get the TLDR from their agent/agency. Interestingly enough, some union voice actors are attempting to say that the union actually does care about non-union actors. For example, in this tweet by KoAlan, part of it reads, "During the strike, the SAG negotiating committee has expressed they want to help non-union actors keep their jobs and are willing to negotiate a waiver for the must-join rule for any project that needs it." But this person, Lynn, responds, saying, "I don't know. I remember the video from the SAG guy who said non-union VAs are lesser than union VAs, which was deleted after the backlash."
He did not say that. Let them PvP weeds out the worthless cold immune system. Natural selection in a sense, right? But Jesus, he did not say that. Actually looking down upon people that are not in the union. It is actually just the cold.
So I can't really believe they want to help the non-unions, lol. Once again, we have Karina Bodiger here saying, "You mean the one that wasn't even said during this strike? Keep up, this is a different strike now." Also, the entire union screamed at him for that. A few additional
Bro, this freaking Karina again, who isn't even part of a union, who isn't even part of the union that's doing it. So of course this person would be misinformed, right? Not to say that the people in the union are informed, as we already established, but of course she would be, or they would be even more misinformed. Like, oh my god.
Keep up, this is a different strike now. Also, the entire union screamed at him for that. To give you additional context, I believe it was Duncan Crabtree Ireland, the National Executive Director and Chief Negotiator for SAG-AFTRA, who made those disparaging remarks towards non-union actors.
Jesus. Misinformed the shit is deliberate to her. I want to be hoping in good faith that Karina is just misinformed.
Specifically saying that they're quote-unquote lesser quality. So while some union members gave him backlash on social media for those remarks, it doesn't seem like there's any serious action taken against him. It seems like he still has that top executive position. And furthermore, it seems like his position at the union is getting him a salary of over $1 million a year. Lastly, on SAG-AFTRA's own website, they have a section dedicated to talking about financial core. A brief summary of financial core reads, financial core refers to a legal carve-out that permits workers opposed to participating in a labor union to be employed under the benefits of a union's contracts without compelling them to be a member of that union. In which SAG-AFTRA says, financial core members are viewed as scabs or anti-union by SAG-AFTRA members, directors, and writers, most of whom also belong to entertainment unions. And as you surely know, scab is used as a derogatory term for people who are not a part of the union or who cross picket lines, etc., etc. The point is, while some union members attempt to say that SAG-AFTRA really does care about people who are not a part of the union, it seems like the union's own actions and terms, as well as this whole situation recently with a number of union VAs and how they've treated Jacob, has caused many people to be skeptical, to say the least. But anyways, let me know what you think about this stuff in the comments. Hope you enjoyed my coverage, and if you did, please consider liking and or subscribing.
Oh
Appreciate
my god.
you, and I'll see you in the next one. Hope you guys are...
Bro. This is getting out of hand. Here's a link. This is goddamn getting out of hand. Voice actors need to be goddamn kept in check. Oh my god, man. Insanity. Insanity. That's the video. Go check it out. I know he's a bigger creator than me, but go leave a like at least. And YouTube, leave a like for me too, if you may. Leave a comment. Subscribe, help the algorithm. Thank you. Bye-bye.